A man who was talking to a woman at a bar that wasn't there, and someone's car talking to them like a spirit box. We have some crazy videos this week. Another week, another weird and creepy compilation. In case you missed it, here's a roundup of all the weird and creepy videos I shared on all my other socials this week. If you see a TikTok video that you think should be included in one of these compilations, be sure to go tag me. And just a reminder that Glitch Community Plus members here on YouTube get early access to videos, which means they get to see these videos a day or two before everybody else. If you'd like to become a member, you can click the join button next to my profile picture. Right now, let's get started, so sit back, grab a snack, and let's get weird. This person was talking to a woman at a bar who wasn't there?
The bartender slipped me a note. Don't leave with her. So she walked into this little bar I was in, and she walked in, real smooth, like she was like a part of the band or something. Not too flashy, but just like present. Like when she walked into the room, the whole room just like stopped. Like you could just kind of feel a slight, silence, undertone, like people knew she was there. So she kind of walked up to me and she ordered me a drink, before I even introduced myself. And she said, I like your energy, so I'm like, okay. She told me my face looked like it told stories. So I kind of laughed it off, I'm like, okay, whatever that means. So then she reached and touched my birthmark and she whispered, I like the broken parts. I mean, I don't know what that means. Like, I'm glad I got a free drink and she looked good. So I'm like, okay, that's cool. So we talking for like an hour, y'all. Like nothing deep, just like, little flirting, low tones, kind of vibes, kind of conversation that make you forget where you parked at. So then I got up to go order a second drink. So the bartender slid me a glass, but he slid me like a little napkin with the glass, but it was like kind of folded up. He ain't say nothing, he just kind of like nodded at me. I'm like, okay. So I unfolded it and I read it and it said, don't leave with her, you're not the first. I'm like, what? Not the first? I'm too faded for this. First of all, so I don't even know what you're talking about right now. So I'm like, okay, I guess. So I turned back and the bartender was gone. Like not in the back, not serving anymore. Like he was just gone. So I turned around to the table and she was gone too. And the drink was there though. And it's still like, dripping, like sweating on the table. So this lady comes from the back, whatever. She asked me, like, okay. And I'm like, I'm looking for my friend. And she was like, your friend, and we kind of going back and forth. And she was kind of looking at me like, she don't know what I'm talking about. So she was like, come look at this. She showed me the security camera, and I was sitting there by myself all night. So if anybody knows me, they knows I'm not. Look, y'all, I don't know what's going on. I still got the little note. Well, I had the note after the fact. I'm like, well, where did this note come from? So I don't know if they was in cahoots together. I don't know. Let me know something in the comments, chat.
This person's car was talking to them like a spirit box and it wasn't even on.
Why is my car doing a spirit box?
For good reasons.
It just said for good reasons.
Guys, what the fuck is going on? So basically, last night I was super hot, so I decided to go outside to cool down. And I was like, do you know what? I'm going to go sit in my car, which I've never done before. I've had my car for like a year. Anyway, it was cool outside. I said, I'm going to sit in my car. But I turned the key in my car to put the windows down, because obviously it was too hot. And it starts talking. So I was like, what the hell? And as you saw in that first clip, I said, why is it talking to me? And it said, for good reason. So I was shocked and basically I didn't know what to do. So I went live on TikTok for about an hour and just sat there and listened to it. And this is all the things that it was saying. If anyone has any idea what the hell this is or why my car's done this, please let me know. I'm so creeped out.
It's a horror film. Turn to Oz.
What the fuck?
Horror films.
What? What the fuck is going on? My heart is beating so fast. Why is my car doing a spirit box?
For good reasons.
It just said for good reasons. What the fuck is going on? There's a man's voice. Why is my car talking to me? Why is my car talking to me?
Queen Elizabeth II.
Did that just say Queen Elizabeth? What is going on? My car is talking to me like a spirit box. All I did was turn the key. The car's not on, look.
Fashion.
I bought this car on Friday the 13th as well. What the fuck? Who is this? Why is there talking coming through my speakers in my car?
Be apologizing.
What is going on? Oh my god, I'm panicking. She just said apologising. Nah, this can't be real.
Just can't cope.
Did they just say I can't cope? Neither can I. I'm so scared, my heart is beating fast.
Do you like that?
Do you like that? The way I'm literally going to sell this car tomorrow. Looks like there's something in... Oh my god, don't fucking start. Why would you say that? Why would you say that? Why would you say that? I just got goosebumps.
Look after her.
Look after her. Oh my god, I can't do this. I can't. Oh, hell no. It said look after her.
Around the house.
What did that say about house? What did that say about house? What did that just say about house? I'm sure it said go in the house.
It's named from peaceful and dignified.
Something about dignify. Can you hear me? Hello, can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yeah. Very nice.
What the fuck? Very nice. The House of Lord. Did you guys hear that clearly? The House of... What did they say? Something somewhere? Did she just say she's got a hard on? Y'all are having me. You are lying. Brushing your teeth. She's telling me to brush my teeth, the cheeky fucker. I brushed my teeth actually earlier, thanks. No, you didn't, she said. This is fucking... I'm done.
This person accidentally caught a peek around on camera, and it's so scary.
Dogs are ready for bed. It's just a peaceful night here. Here I go to bed myself. What the fuck is that? What? Oh, God! Right here. Here I go to bed myself. What the fuck is that? What? Oh, God!
Did this person go through a portal or just have like a crazy glitch in the Matrix?
Okay, guys, the weird, like, it's literally happening to me as I speak to you right now. The weirdest fucking thing just happened to me. I don't even know how to describe this. So, I'm driving, I'm trying to get over to my fucking kids' dad's house, right? I know the way, like, I'm not stupid. I know how the fuck to get there. And I pulled down the fucking road for his house, and then all of a sudden I was over in this fucking housing development complex area that is like on the opposite fucking side of like where the fuck I'm at, and there's no way to get there. Like, it's like at least a good 3 fucking miles away. I'm literally fucking lost for words. Like, I'm like, no joke. That's fucking weird, and I have no idea how that happened or like what the fuck to do right now. I'm finally on the right fucking... No, I'm not. What the fuck? Okay. What the fuck? Okay. I don't understand, because when I turned down the road, it literally was his road. And then all of a sudden it wasn't his road. Does that make sense? Like, oh, I'm trying to wrap my brain around this so hard, and I can't. I literally can't. Something weird just happened to me, and I want to know what the fuck it is, because I know a lot, and I do not know this.
This person had some stuff moved around in their house while they were sleeping. Do you think it's house elves?
Something freaky happened, and I want to tell you about it really quick. So I've been home alone for a few days. My boyfriend's in Ireland, and last night I decided to sleep on the couch. I consciously said, I'm just sleep on the couch. I opened some wine. I was going to have 1 glass of wine. I made a pizza because I haven't had pizza in a couple weeks. I'm home alone. I'm going to be a fat little monster, you know? So I had some pizza. I had a few slices. I had half a glass of wine, and I put away the leftovers. I corked the wine. I left the half glass and the bottle corked on the table that's in front of me in front of the couch, and I fell asleep. I remember what time it was because I was texting people, I sent voice memos. I have receipts of when I was consciously awake, okay? Here's what happened. I woke up at 8 a.m. exactly, no alarm. And when I woke up, I didn't notice it first, but all I did notice though was like how I felt. I felt disoriented, okay? Kind of like, do I have a hangover? What the hell is going on? So I wake up, I start to walk around, I'm thinking, oh shit, did I wake up late or something? And I'm like, why do I think I woke up late? But when I go out into my living room / temporary office because of COVID, the bottle of wine is on the desk and it's uncorked. I specifically remember corking it right before I texted back my friend who was texting me last night. Like I pushed the cork way in there. It was on the desk, the cork was out. I don't know where it was. I did later. The glass of wine was still half full, and it was on the dining room table on the other side of that area. I was like, oh my God, was someone in my house? That was the first thing I thought, was somebody was in my house and did something creepy, or I don't know. I looked around to see if my wallet was gone. I was just like, oh my God. I go into the bedroom, the car keys are on top of my pillow. We have a key box that's right by the front door. I always hang them there when I come in and I close it, so I don't lose my keys, because I used to do that a lot. So that happened. I don't know what that was about. I thought, was I sleepwalking? But I've never done that in my entire life. I have one relative that does, but they haven't done that in decades now. So, have you ever had something like this happen? Because I am pretty aware of like what's around me and what's going on, and I've already kind of come to some conclusions, but what do you think? What do you get a sense of? Also, if you want to share, please stitch this or comment. I love hearing about this stuff, but this just happened, and I'm just like, that's different, you know? So, bye.
This person accidentally bought a bear that was haunted, and then all this weird stuff started happening.
Okay, so this is going to be a long video, but I think it's worth the story if you're bored. So I've already talked to people who are closest to me, know about my haunted bear problem. So a lot of people don't, but I'm going to just kind of tell the story of what that's been like, because today, after I'm done with making this video, I will be taking that bear to I think it's like the Shadow Museum in downtown Omaha. So we're gonna I'll give you the introductions. The bear, okay? He's not scary looking. He's actually pretty damn cute. And when I was on a family vacation, we went down to Missouri. my grandma was with us, and she really enjoys like antique malls, thrifts, you know, and there was a big, you know, antique mall. So we went, and I found this cute bear, and I'm like, I just was really kind of like drawn to the bear, and you know, and he was really cute, and so I was like, yeah, I'm just gonna get him. And when I say I have like a haunted bear, like, he's definitely not what people thought. So this is him. He's cute, right? He's little overalls, little buttons. Yeah, I mean, he's a cute bear, and you would not think that he's been a terror. I know I certainly would not have thought that. But yeah, so this is the bear that I'll be talking about. I haven't even named him, because ever since getting him, it's been a kind of a nightmare, and I never even thought to name him. So again, I got him on a family vacation at a antique store in Missouri. After getting back from the family vacation, just like with a lot of my new stuff that I got, I put the bear in my room with like some of my other like little cute plushies, whatever. And starting then, I began having really bad sleep paralysis. And my whole life, I've never experienced that. I thought it was kind of weird. I didn't even really know like what was going on until, you know, I Googled, you know, what was going on, and sleep paralysis popped up. So I'm like, okay, like, that's it. And I'm like, this is just really weird. You know, I've never had this problem before, but, you know, it says it can happen at any time, really. So I'm like, this fucking sucks, but whatever. So yeah, I was kind of like, you know, this is just something that is happening to me, and I can't really change it. For me, my sleep paralysis was extremely scary, extremely, because it's nothing like that has ever happened, and unless you've experienced it, I don't think I could describe it that would be really convey how terrifying it is. So for me, obviously, like anybody with sleep paralysis, you cannot move your body at all, which is just, it sucks. I would also like start hearing things like this really like weird kind of like a humming that would go like, it'd be louder and then quiet, louder and then quiet. And even though like my eyes were closed because I was too afraid to open them, I would still see things. Obviously it was more kind of like shadows. I know it seems weird like with your eyes closed, but you know, if you are outside and it's really bright and you close your eyes, like you could still kind of see like shadows, and that's what it was like. But it was almost like really like grainy, fuzzy, kind of weird, like on a broken like TV. And I could just and the thing that like I would say scared me the most was I lay on like the left side of my bed, so that's like the closest, and I would feel, it was almost like just this like weight, and it was very like gradual. I would start on my left side and then eventually like go onto like my whole body. But when that would happen, it's almost like I would see something come into vision without opening my eyes. And obviously that was very, very scary, and eventually it would stop, but just kind of like how it slowly would come on, like that weight and pressure would slowly go from my whole body and get like off on my left side, and whatever I was seeing would go away as well. And that went on extremely frequently for a while. There were instances where it was different, in that I would like hear like weird growling, almost like, it didn't even sound like a dog. It just was like this growl, and it was like terrifying. Really terrifying. There was another time where, like I told you guys, when the sleep paralysis would happen, I would never open my eyes because I was afraid to see something scary. I also read online that if you sleep on your side, you're less likely to experience sleep paralysis. So there was one time where I'm sleeping on my left side, and the next thing that I know, my bedroom door is open and the light in my hallway is on, and I'm experiencing sleep paralysis. So I cannot move, but I'm laying on my left side. I can't move my head, so all I can do is move my eyes. And so I'm like looking, why is my door open? Why is my hallway light on? And this woman comes in with this yellow shirt and just slowly like walks into my room and walks along the front of my bed. So not like in front of me, but like the front of my bed. And at some point, because I couldn't turn my head, like I couldn't see where she went. And then eventually, like, she went and sat on my bed, not facing me, facing the wall. And I remember being very confused, and initially I thought it was my mom. And I thought something was wrong. And so I'm like, Mom, what's wrong? And I don't get a response, and I like try to move my eyes like some more. And when I didn't get a response, I had like this sickening realization that that's not my mom, and I like can't move. And my stomach just dropped because I'm like, I felt like I was gonna die, and I'm like, there's this lady in my room. And as soon as it happened, it was like all over, and she wasn't there anymore, and the hallway light was off. And yeah, that was probably my scariest night that I had. There was another night where after that, I'm like, I'm gonna wear a face mask, or eye mask to bed, because I am not seeing this shit again. So again, I go lay on my side to try to prevent any sleep paralysis. I'm wearing the eye mask, which obviously it's literally like you cannot see through it. It was like a thick like foam one to try to make it comfortable. And again, sleep paralysis started, and I realized that I can see everything. And I'm like, what the hell? What happened to my eye mask? And then I realized, because obviously like I could feel it and feel the strap, and I'm like, my eye mask is still on. It's still on my face, and I can see through it. I was so confused. And then I start panicking because I'm like, I don't want to see this shit. And like, I couldn't really like close my eyes. It would just like, I would try to blink. It was a very unsettling experience. I didn't see anything scary, thank God, because I think I would have had a heart attack. But that's also not a normal experience, so I definitely include it in when I tell people about this. There was also times where I'm not experiencing sleep paralysis, but I am seeing things. Like, I'm seeing like weird things that I can't even describe, like if it has a shape, like on my ceiling or like in the hallway, like in my room. And just, I would say last week, I don't think it was this week, I woke up and I saw my fucking closet opening and these huge pair of hands where, I mean, it's like textbook what you would see in a movie. Like, I'm not even playing. Like, there was huge hands that, I mean, it wasn't even like the doorknob. Like, it was like literally huge hands, like 2 hands pushing my door open. And I just keep staring at this, like, what is going on? What is going on? What is going on? And so I'm scared. I get up, turn on the light, and my closet's fine. It's fine. It's just fucking weird. This has been going on for about 2 years. I will say it took me about 4 months, right when it first started, for me to, because I just kept thinking, like, why are these things happening? I don't understand. And that's when I realized that this started happening after my family vacation. And so I'm like, I think it's this fucking bear. But I want to know for sure if it's the bear. So what I did was I texted my mom and I'm like, hey Mom, I want to drop this bear off and I want to know if anything weird happens for you guys. And she's like, no. And I'm like, yes. So I drop it off. And then the next day, my mom and dad talked to me and they had weird shit happen. Wasn't anything like what was happening at my house. So apparently, in the middle of the night, my mom, without knowing what was going on, got out of bed and started making the bed while my dad was still sleeping in the bed. And it woke him up and he's like, Tiff, what are you doing? And then she kind of came to and was like, I don't know. And she's like, you need to take your fucking bear back. It cannot stay here. And after that, I put the bear into my cement room, which seemed to help a bit. But things still kept happening. I have a video where my hallway light is like, it's like fucking strobe light, like on off, on off, on off. It's just weird. I have videos of my pug who I adopted, I would say I don't know if it was a full year after, but anyways, I have videos of her looking down my hallway, growling, barking, and the hallway light's on, the door's open, my bedroom light's on, so this isn't always like in the middle of the night, like she's doing this during the day. And I'm like, Mochi, don't freak me out even more than I have to be. I've had multiple people tell me like, hey, just put it in your garage sale, or hey, throw away the bear. And in good conscience, I cannot put that bear in the garage sale and let somebody else like buy him. Because if things started happening for them, I would feel really bad, because I wouldn't want to buy a haunted bear in a garage sale, so I don't want anyone else to have to. And then you hear these weird stories of fucking people throwing away like haunted objects, and then shit just hits the fan even worse than it already is. And I'm like, I don't want that either. And that's when I learned about this like haunted museum of like haunted objects downtown, and they offered to take the bear. I reached out, told them my story, and they're like, yes, of course we'll take your bear. And I told them that I would bring it in after work today. So that is what I'm doing. I've never taken a picture or video of the bear to really show people, like when I am talking about this, like, oh, well, what did the bear look like? Or, what are the things that happened? And now I can, and when I do look back on this one day and like this whole crazy experience, I can be like, yeah, this is what the bear looked like. And yeah, like this is what my story was. And I'm extremely happy to get rid of this bear like once and for all. So that's pretty much the end of my story. There's plenty of sleep paralysis ones that I'm not going over every single one. The ones I listed and talked about were some of the most like impactful for me. So like the scariest ones for me. But every night it sucks not knowing what's gonna happen. and just being afraid to like go to bed just in case, like, you know, what if it's gonna be one of those bad scary nights? And then there's nights where it's not. And yeah, so that's my story. That's the haunted bear, and his ass is going in a museum. So if you end up going in the museum, actually, yeah, if you go there and you see this bear, you could say that you know somebody. You're like, oh girl, like, it's that fucking girl's bear that I saw. So yeah, that's my story.
Do you guys think that this is a hellhound or a dog man? Watch this and let me know what you think.
Update on what's been tracking me. I got my cameras in earlier today. I'm never going outside again after dark. If you watch it, it's going to be at the end of the video. Look to the left of the screen, you'll see a little... And I zoomed in when you kind of... You know, before it was all good, you know, joking, but... Somebody tell me what the hell I'm looking at. I've seen coyotes, wolves, cow, whatever. I've never seen nothing like this. Somebody can tell me what it is, or know somebody can come get it, whatever, let me know. What's going on, TikTokers? Look, the plot thickens. I was just on my live. I heard a kind of a grunting sound. I didn't know what the hell it was. I jumped up, run out the door to the right up here. I seen something go to the right, just enough to a shadow or something. I didn't see nothing else. I went over here and checked on the left. I measured the tree. It's 5 foot tall to where whatever it was eating it or scratching it or whatever the hell it was doing. I got a picture of it. I was walking back to the house. Luckily it rained this evening, because right in my front yard I'm getting grass to grow, and it's kind of, I got the rest of the yard, but it's kind of patchy. And guess what he did? He stepped in the only spot really that don't have grass. You look at it. I got there's one here and there's one up here. The one of the pictures is not a real good, it wasn't a good imprint, but the first one is a good imprint. I'm gonna try to get it and pour it and keep it, but it's definitely something from not here. I'm just saying, you know, this is definitely from something not here. Now I'm, yeah.
This person seems to have a picture of a demon on camera. Let me know if you guys think that's what it is or if you think it's something else.
So I'm pretty sure I saw a demon and captured a photo of it. This was from a while back, and I contemplated even putting this out, but with the veil thinning and the world as the way it is, I want to just show a picture. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of people that say it's not real, blah, blah, blah. But I figured I would just put it out there and want to know what your thoughts are on it. So here's the picture. It's just my daughter playing. I took a picture of her, and I noticed something strange in the background on the reflection. Now I know my windows are dirty. I know there's a lot of, reflections can play tricks on people, but this is pretty interesting because I was sitting down on the couch and was not standing up. So the shadow, whatever this figure is, I don't know how that could have showed up. And I've had some crazy spiritual warfare lately. And when you zoom in on the face, this thing literally looks like he's mocking or laughing. And that was a time in my life where it was just upside down. It's still not perfect, but I definitely know there's been demonic influence, especially ever since I started doing TikTok videos, because the spiritual warfare increases. The enemy's going to try to do everything that he can to sway you off your path. But the face on this thing is pretty interesting. Now, I don't want to post this to bring light to it, because our battle, again, it's not against flesh and blood, right? It's a spiritual battle. It's always been a spiritual battle. But I don't know. It's pretty convincing to me, and it doesn't sit right with me. And I just wanted to share it and get your thoughts on it. So at the end of the day, nothing can hurt us. Nothing can touch us when Jesus is your king, and we'll always be protected. Again, I'm sure there's going to be people that say this is fake or it's due to whatever. There's always going to be an answer. But to me, I think Satan and his demons can show up in whatever way that they want. And yeah, take it for what that is. Either way, the time is close. Just look at the world. It's crazy right now. But Jesus already said that these things would happen. We have to remember, at the end of the day, we already win the battle. Amen and hallelujah. I'll see you in the clouds in his time.
This person was saved by divine intervention.
If you don't believe in some form of higher power or the supernatural, you will believe after this story. Yesterday, I bumped into someone that told me a story that left me with goosebumps for the rest of the day. I bumped into this random stranger. He's an Indian gentleman, and we had this conversation, and I don't know, I think there's something about talking to strangers that just makes you open up with no limits, and I think it's just because you're never going to see them again, so there's like a place of safety that there's not going to be much judgment, and if there is, it's not going to cause an issue because you'll never see them again. But yeah, so he is like, do you want to hear something crazy? And I'm like, yeah. He goes, he puts his hands on his phone, grabs his phone, looks at something, he's like, I gotta show you. And then shows me his phone, and he shows me like a completely destroyed airplane, like some Air India airplane. And I'm like, okay, I'm sorry, I'm not following. So he goes like, that was 2 days ago. I was in India, in like Ahmedabad or something, and he's like, I was supposed to go on this airplane, but I went to a temple, and I met this guy that we're gonna call the sage. I met the sage in the temple, and I instantly felt safe with him. So something in my chest told me to reschedule this flight and volunteer with this gentleman for 1 day. He's like, I talked to the guy, he started telling me things about my kids and how they're gonna be safe and that he's gonna watch over them. And then I called the company, they didn't want me to reschedule, they're like, you have to do it on your own and buy a new ticket or whatever, so he did do that. And spent the rest of the day with the gentleman. I guess the company calls him later and they're like, how did you know? And he's like, no, what? They're like, do you not have any access to news? And he's like, no, I'm in a temple. So they tell him that basically this aircraft crashed, I think, and like 420 people lost their lives and only one person walked out of it, but 2 people rescheduled right before the aircraft, like right before the flight. So the guy is stunned that he like dodged death just by hours. And then he goes back to the temple to talk to the sage and he can't find him, and he's looking everywhere and he's not there. So he talks to the other people in the temple, and the people are like, we wanted to be nice and we didn't want to scare you or make you feel some type of way, but we only ever saw you talk to yourself the whole time you were here. I don't know what to say. I was stunned by this. The guy was stunned by this. He's like, nothing like that ever happened to me. But that gentleman that only he saw saved his life. And he was in the temple the whole time and nobody else saw him. Make this make sense.
This person is definitely astral traveling to the same place while she sleeps over and over again. Watch this and let me know what you think.
Has anyone else ever had the same dream or dreamed of the same place continuously? This is not my usual content, but I thought TikTok is the perfect place to ask this because I need to know if there's something behind it or if my head is just crazy and it's just happening for no reason. Okay, so I have vivid dreams all the time. I dream every single night, and I always say that my dreams could be movies. Like, they actually could. See, if I sat and wrote down my dreams, I always think they would make cracking movies. And I always really remember them. I don't always have just one dream. There's always loads of dreams that I have. But anyhow, let me get to my point. I have dreamt about this one house for years. Now, I don't mean every single night. It just pops up randomly. But when that house pops into my dream, I am scared. I've got an uneasy feeling. I can tell you exactly what the house looks like. I can tell you when you walk in that sometimes it's got a double-edged stairs. It's double-edged, is that the right word? It's got double stairs leading up to the top bit, and sometimes it's just got one set of stairs. But it's not like a normal house. It's like a big, old, scary mansion-looking thing. It is exactly like your typical haunted house that you would see in a movie. But I know this house like the back of my hand. I know where certain rooms are, and I know there's a certain bit in the house that if I go near, I feel absolutely petrified. Now, I will be in other dreams and I will just be at this house, and in my dream I'm like, no, I can't be here, I don't want to be here, and it's actually terrifying. A dream that I can really vividly remember was I was in a lift and I was talking to my sister in my dream, and I was chatting away to my sister, and then I just looked as the elevator doors were opening. Now, I think we were in like some sort of hotel because it was dead modern and it was really nice, and the doors opened and I was in the house, and I remember looking back to see my sister. She was gone, and I was like trying to press buttons to get out of the lift, and the lift had disappeared. I was in a lift, it opened, and I was in the house in this dream. Now, I have spoke about this for years, so I can't actually pinpoint when I started dreaming about this house, but I can actually remember being a teenager and dreaming about the house. Because one time when I was in America, I passed a house that resembled it, and I was like, oh, that's the house that I keep having dreams about. So it must have been maybe about 17 when that happened, so I'm in my 30s. This has been happening for a long time. Now, the reason I'm asking now about this house is because last night, for the first time in months, I had a dream about the house, and I was in the house, and I don't know how to explain it, but I wasn't the age I am right now. I was so much younger. I don't know how I know that. I don't know, but I just know that I was so much younger than what I was, and I was in modern clothes, but I could see like people wearing like clothes from a time that wasn't this time, and they were like walking around and they couldn't see me, but I could see them. And I remember in my dream panicking, like, I need to get out here, I can't be here, I'm not meant to be saying this right now. I must sound like a full-blown psycho, right? But honestly, this is happening and I need answers. But anyway, the dream last night, I'd woke up and I'd went down the stairs, got a drink, I went to the toilet and I went back up, and I was scrolling on my phone because I couldn't get back to sleep. When I eventually did get back to sleep, I was in the exact same point of the dream that I'd left, and I was in the house, and it was really busy. For the first time ever, it was really busy. Usually it's just me and I'm scared and I'm like trying to get a way out, or like walking through and I'm going somewhere and I know that I'm scared. But this last night, there was loads of people in it, but it was like people, as I said, from a different time, but it wasn't all the same time, so it's so hard to try and explain this. But anyway, I was walking down a very familiar hall that I've walked down loads of times, and all of a sudden someone appeared in front of me, and it was a lady. She wasn't scary looking. She was wearing like a red type of gown, kind of normal dark hair, and she just went, "You're not meant to be here." And I was like, "What?" And she was like, "You're not meant to be here." And boom, I woke up. And that is the first time that anything's ever happened where I'm like, what is actually going on in my head? What is this dream? Like, what is going on? Now, I am not a great drawer, but If I got a pen and paper and I could actually draw, I could give you details, not just from the inside, from the outside. I know what it looks like from the outside. I know how to get in from the garden. I can tell you what the garden looks like. It is a big, scary, as I said, the kind of typical haunted house, but it always looks the same every single time, and the only thing that changes is the staircase. As I said, sometimes you've got a double staircase leading up to the top landing, and sometimes it is just one staircase, a big huge staircase. I just need to know, does anybody else have dreams like this where they continuously go to the same place, or they're somewhere where they recognise all the time? This video is getting extremely long, but I just need to add one more thing about this house. I had a dream one time where I was on a bus and I was looking out the window and there was a guy like waving to me, and I remember like looking at him, and the bus was moving, and every time I looked out the window the same guy was waving to me, and I was like, what is going on? And then I looked out the other side of the window and the house was there, and the bus had stopped, nobody else was on the bus, and I remember in my dream panicking like, I am not getting off this bus, I am not going into this house, and I was terrified. Or is my brain just broken? It's came to the point where I've even asked ChatGPT what the meaning is behind this, but I need actual people to answer me. Does anybody else have dreams like this, or has anyone else dreamed of this house? Please let me know in the comments.
Was this a glitch in the Matrix, or were they NPCs? I think NPCs. That's my vote. Let me know what you think.
I finally have my own glitch in the Matrix story. That's not just me thinking I'm crazy, but I actually have a witness. You know, usually I just think that I'm crazy because I'm old or my brain's just playing tricks on me. But this was witnessed by my daughter. We were in Colorado last week and we were hiking on a trail. And this trail, you had to go over like a footbridge to get from the parking lot to the trail. And it was like a long bridge over like a 4-lane highway. So we had been hiking for like an hour. We came back and we were almost to the footbridge when we saw 2 people on bikes. They were a couple. It was like a really tall guy with longish blonde hair, and it was in half a man bun. And then a woman with like, I think white or blonde hair. And they were probably a little older than me, maybe like mid-50s. And they were on bikes, and he was wearing a red t-shirt. He was very tall, and they were talking to another biker who was leaving. But this couple, the guy in the red shirt and the lady, they were going the opposite direction we were. So they had just come onto the trail and they were passing us. We were leaving. And the guy looked at us and he said hi. Like he smiled and said hi. He was very friendly. We got to the footbridge and we passed the footbridge. Now there's only one way to get to the parking lot. That's on the footbridge, unless you scaled down the mountain and crossed over on the highway. And when we got on the other side, coming onto the footbridge, was the exact same couple. He said hi to us in exactly the same way he had on the other side. Exact smile, exact tone of voice. And this was like less than 2 minutes after we had passed him. My daughter said to me, how did they get over here? I said, I don't know. That's the same guy though, right? She said, yeah, that's the exact same guy. Same couple, same guy. The lady with the blondish hair, the guy with the half man bun thing and the red t-shirt. Same people, exact same couple. Okay. Tell me your glitch. I want to know.
That concludes our creepy compilation for today. If you like videos like this, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. But if you want to keep it going right now, you can check out this video or this playlist.